You know that moment when it hits you, like a gut punch. Someone's been controlling the narrative of your life, and you didn't even notice until it was too late. Yeah, it's like waking up in the middle of a movie, only to realize you're not the main character. You're just playing a role someone else wrote for you. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. If you don't take ownership of your value as a man, you will lose. Not just today, every single time. But here's the good news. By the end of this video, you won't just know how to break her ego. You'll know how to rebuild your own into something unshakable, something powerful. So lock in. This might be the wake-up call your future self has been begging you to hear. Rule 1. Stop seeking validation. Let's start with the most common trap, the silent killer of masculine power. Validation seeking. Every time you double text, over-explain, or anxiously ask, "Did I do something wrong?" You're doing more than looking weak. You're giving her your power. You're handing it over like a gift she never asked for. Women don't respect men who chase their approval. They respect men who stand tall in their truth, regardless of who approves. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The approval of others is a fickle thing." Your worth isn't based on her response time, her mood, or her opinion. And the day you stop chasing her validation, that's the day she starts chasing you. Rule 2. Master the art of silence. Here's a weapon most men overlook. Silence. Picture this. She's poking, provoking, expecting a reaction. But instead, you sit there calm, unbothered, still. It throws her off. It disrupts the emotional script she's used to. Because silence isn't weakness. Silence is presence. Silence is power. It says, "I don't need to explain myself to you. I know who I am." Seneca taught, "He who is brave is free." You become free the moment you realize you don't have to react to her in respect. Silence is your edge. Use it wisely. Rule 3. Build an irresistible life. Now let me ask you something real. When was the last time you did something purely for you? Not for her, not for approval, but for your purpose. Men who are focused on building something bigger than any relationship, radiate magnetism. A man who's building an empire doesn't lose sleep over her Instagram story. She checks her phone, expecting to be the center of your world. But instead, she sees a man on a mission, grinding, evolving, reading, creating, conquering. Suddenly, her ego cracks, because she realizes she's not your priority. And paradoxically, that's what makes you irresistible. Rule 4. Set boundaries like a king. Every high-value man understands this truth. If you don't set the standard, someone else will. Women will test boundaries. It's not evil. It's instinctual. They are wired to test for strength, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And when you let things slide just this once, you send a message. "I'll trade my respect for your comfort." But when you calmly say, "That doesn't work for me," without yelling, without arguing, you rise. You elevate. You shift the entire dynamic. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters." Boundaries aren't about control. They are about self-respect. And when you enforce them, she feels it. Rule 5. Detach emotionally. This is where most men fall flat. They care too quickly. They invest too deeply, too fast, and then they lose themselves trying to hold on. But emotional detachment, that's a game changer. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't cling. It means your peace is no longer held hostage by someone else's feelings. When you detach, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability breeds attraction. The Stoics taught, focus only on what you can control. You can't control her emotions, but you can control your focus, your mindset, and your response. Rule 6. Be unapologetically authentic. Let me ask you something raw. When was the last time you said exactly what you thought, without watering it down to be liked? Most men bend, fold, and censor themselves just to avoid friction. But a high-value man doesn't fear conflict. He embraces it, because truth is more important than comfort. And you know what? Women respect that. They may disagree with you, but they'll never forget you. As Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Your authenticity is your fingerprint. One of a kind. Irreplaceable. When you own it, you stop chasing. You attract. Rule 7. Don't try to break her ego. Break free from yours. Here's the twist no one expects. You don't win by breaking her ego. You win by breaking free from your own. When you let go of the need to prove, impress, or be chosen, you rise above the noise, the games, the power plays. You stop being reactive, and you start becoming unshakable. Because when you stop needing to be right, liked, or loved on command, you start living for something higher. Your growth, your purpose, your peace. And guess what happens? She feels it. She senses the shift. She realizes you're no longer playing the game. You are the game. So here's your next move. Look in the mirror. Ask yourself, am I the man I want to be? Or just the man she's allowed me to become? Every decision you make, what you tolerate, what you chase, what you allow, either pulls you closer to the man you're meant to be, or pushes you further away. You've just learned the 7 rules to take your power back and rebuild yourself into a force of nature. If you felt that shift, even a little, don't let it fade. Like this video, share it with a brother who needs it, and subscribe, not for me, but for the version of you that refuses to settle. Let's build a community of high-value men, together. See you in the next one.